Dogs are widely recognized for their affectionate and loyal nature, often developing deep connections with their owners. However, a particular dog showcased extraordinary faithfulness by remaining steadfast at the very place where it last saw its owners who were absent. The heart-wrenching turn of events that followed is likely to bring tears to your eyes. Rex, the faithful and devoted canine, had a warm and affectionate personality since he was a young and energetic puppy, which captivated his owners. They were smitten by his charming looks and endearing character, and he seamlessly integrated into their lifestyle from the moment he arrived at his new home. It felt as though he had always been a part of their family, like it was destiny. Throughout the years, the owners formed a deep connection with their beloved furry companion, regarding him as their own offspring. Rex brought immense joy and fulfillment into their lives, and they reciprocated by showering him with love and care. Their relationship epitomized the ideal bond between a dog and its owners. They would often embark on leisurely strolls meandering through both urban and rural landscapes, with Rex happily trotting alongside them. They trusted him enough to let him roam freely without a leash, confident that he would not cause any trouble and would come back promptly when summoned. If he happened to wander off, he would patiently wait for them to catch up. If there was one thing that Rex loved more than walks, it was car rides. He loved how the car smelled, and he loved the feel of it moving, especially when they were going fast on the open roads. He would look intently out of the window and watch the world go by as his tail wagged. It was Rex's 8th birthday, so his owners decided they were going to treat him to a surprise. They woke up and fed him his favorite meal before taking him out on a long walk in the fields where he could run free and stretch his legs properly. They would then drive to the local dog spa where he would be treated to having his fur cleaned, his nails groomed, and generally made to feel special. After all, it was his big day. Everything was going according to plan, and Rex wolfed down his breakfast before happily zooming around a huge expansive field, feeling the wind in his hair as he ran and played with his owners. It was the best day ever, but things were soon going to take a dramatic and heartbreaking turn. One that will leave you feeling extremely sorry for the poor dog. Rex jumped into the rear of the car and sat down and watched as his owners climbed into the front. They set off driving to the dog bar, and Rex happily the world go by as they listened to music from the radio and his two owners chatting. He didn't know where they were going, but he was happy to be with his owners and just going somewhere. But then all of a sudden, the female owner screamed, and before Rex even had a chance to turn his head, the car crashed into a vehicle in front at very high speed. Glass shattered. The car flipped and rolled multiple times, and poor Rex was catapulted from the car and launched into a bush in the town square. He fell unconscious when he hit the ground, concealed by the leaves. Sadly, though things ended much more tragically for Rex owners, they were killed instantly. The crowds of people that gathered didn't notice the unconscious dog in the bushes, nor did the emergency services when they came and respectfully took away the bodies and cleared the wreckage. It was several long hours later that Rex started to stir, waking up and softly sitting up. He was a very lucky dog indeed. He suffered only a few minor cuts and some bruising. It was a miracle that he had not been hurt more, but what the poor dog didn't know was that his owners had been tragically killed, and so he sat there and waited for them. Rex had hoped they would come back soon and take him home. He looked around, checking every single face in hopes that it was one of his owners, but none of them ever were. His tail would wag and he would stand in anticipation, but his hopes would be quickly dashed when he didn't recognize the face. But Rex had lived such a happy life that was full of love, and he couldn't imagine that his owners would have abandoned him or left him alone. So he waited and waited and waited, but after several days, it became obvious that the owners were never returning. Any other dog would have given up and wandered off, but not Rex. Rex was loyal and faithful to his owners. He would be there if they ever returned. After many, many hours had passed, Rex grew hungry and went to scrounge food from a nearby trash can, but after snatching a few tasty morsels, he quickly returned to his place, hoping he had not missed his owners looking for him. Eventually, the people of the town started to notice the dog that was always in the same place every single day. Rex was a friendly and temperamental dog, so he was happy to let people who were passing by stroke his head or even give him a few morsels of food. No one understood what he was doing there, though. They were just extremely curious why it looked like he was always expecting someone. The people couldn't comprehend the reason he was waiting, though, but no one knew Rex's name. They just referred to him as the dog, and that's how he was known around town. The friendly dog that just sits and waits for owners that will never come. Authorities made several attempts to capture him and take him to the dog pound, but despite being a friendly and sociable animal, the dog would not let them near. He understood that they wanted to take him away from that place, and he would not let that happen. After a couple of years, though, they eventually gave up trying to impound the dog, recognizing him to not be a threat, and so the dog just carried on, sitting there, waiting, hoping, but feeling increasingly alone and abandoned. In a way, the dog knew that his owners were never coming back, yet there was still a part of him that couldn't let go of that hope. The dog became a staple of the town, with everyone recognizing him and stroking his head as they went about their daily business. Through winter and summer, the dog was always there, always looking and always patiently waiting. In fact, the dog became so much part of the town square that people just took him for granted and assumed he would always be there like a statue or an old tree. He was just part of the scenery. He grew to recognize the people of the town and would often wag his tail in excitement when he saw them coming. Not only that, but he knew who brought food and who didn't. Yet, despite forming attachments with a handful of the town's residents, the dog never even considered going with one of them to become their pet. Sadly, though, the dog was reaching a very old age. His fur started to become gray in patches and his health deteriorated, and still he remained in his place, just waiting and hoping his owners would finally return. But after 7 years of being a constant presence in the town square, the poor people woke to find the poor dog had died in his sleep in the very place he had spent all those years waiting. The town was, of course, devastated and decided to give him a proper funeral. Pooling their resources, the community honored the faithful and forlorn dog by giving him a fitting farewell, along with commissioning a statue in his likeness. The bronze sculpture depicted the loyal canine sitting and waiting, just as he had done day after day, as witnessed by many. The bronze statue was erected precisely at the spot where the dog had spent his days, serving as a perpetual reminder of his unwavering bravery, loyalty, and amiable nature. For those feeling disheartened or alienated, the statue offered a sense of companionship and belonging. Regardless of their identity or circumstances, they could find solace in the dog's non-judgmental and amicable presence. Although the dog may have passed away feeling desolate and forsaken, he would forever hold a special place in the hearts of the town's residents. Now, I pass the question to you. What are your thoughts on this heart-rending account? How would you have responded if you had come across such a loyal yet solitary dog? Let us know in the comments section. If you like this video, press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.